You want me to put that on my todger?
Harry's wife. They've nothing left to say. Some of you might actually argue they had nothing to say in the first place, or at least nothing to say that was of any note or merit. But according to the New York Post, with an article by Nika Shaknazarova, Harry and Harry's wife to stop writing books, documentaries, as there's nothing left to say. Is that a collective cheer of delight that I can hear coming from you all as you think, thank goodness, they're finally going to shut up? Prince Harry and Harry's wife have nothing left to say. In a shocking U-turn, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are set to stop publishing tell-alls, engaging in sit-down interviews and taking part in large-scale documentaries, according to a report. I wonder if this is a little bit similar to Chrissy Teigen saying, I am coming off social media, only then to reappear 48 hours later, demonstrating both the hypocrisy of the narcissist, contradictory behaviours, and the necessity, of course, of utilising social media to get to the prime aims. The reporter explains that period of their life is over, as there is nothing left to say. A source told the Sun newspaper of the exiled couple's plan to step away from the limelight. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex sensationally stepped down as senior members of the royal family in 2021, a decision that was followed by a permanent move to the United States amid their ongoing quest for privacy. I should imagine that every morning in the Montecchico mansion, besides flushing the 47,000 toilets, they must regularly play U2's I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, as they find it so difficult to try and find that privacy. Their move sparked several high-publicity projects, such as their 6-part Shitflix documentary, their bombshell sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey, and Harry's protocol-shattering publication of Wah. For his part, Harry unleashed several attacks on his family since hightailing across the pond, most notably bashing his stepmother Queen Camilla and calling her a villain. They've since been criticised and ridiculed for their shocking revelations, with the animated sitcom South Park releasing an episode in which a royal couple who resembled the Sussexes were mercilessly mocked. See parts passing. More recently, the pair's credibility was thrust into doubt. I put it stronger than that. Their credibility was shattered after they claimed to have been involved in a near-catastrophic paparazzi car chase through Manhattan. Last month, a spokesperson for the Sussexes claimed Harry's wife and her mother, Doria Ragland, were tailed by snappers for 2 hours. The article then just tells us more about what we already know. Accordingly, they're not going to tell us anything more. There's nothing more to say. They're going to finally shut up. This is errant nonsense. Harry's wife doesn't understand what shut up means. She doesn't understand what be quiet means. She doesn't understand. We don't need to hear any more from you. The reason being is that her narcissism, such an inherent part of who she is, interwoven amongst her personality, means that she cannot help herself, but always need to talk about herself, and often to do so by reference to being a victim. Whilst she operates with the sincere belief that they're not going to say any more, that's being said in the now to garner attention in the now, to assert control over people in the now, to ensure that fuel is received in the now. But at any future point, she can renege on this because she's a narcissist, and she isn't tied to promises, she is not bound by assurances, because the narcissism must always remain fleet of foot, to enable it to get the control, the fuel, the character traits, and the residual benefits. And that's why narcissists are so contradictory. They will say one thing in the moment, and it is a sincere belief, because the narcissism makes it a sincere belief, but it's deluded and misguided. She's incapable of shutting up. She's incapable of living the quiet life, because her narcissism demands to the contrary. Moreover, because she's now had a taste, or rather has drunk deep, of worldwide infamy, her narcissism wants to keep this going. That is why we continue to get the PR puff pieces. This is why we continue to have the events and the drama referenced, the foreshadowing of future events that we don't really need to know about, the bringing up of the past of what happened at a wedding 5 years ago, bringing up the past with regard to the children, repeated reminders of the fact that they have children, thus triangulating the readership with those children. Harry's wife is incapable of living a quiet life. She actually does have nothing to say because she's boring, she's beige, she's completely lacking in interest. She has nothing meaningful to convey to the world. And in any other universe, ought to sit back and think, I'm a very, very lucky woman that's made a lot of money, lives a lifestyle that many people could only dream of. I should count my blessings and just get on with looking after my children and having a quiet life. But not her. Her narcissism will not allow it. She will always remain hungry for that fuel because she can never get enough. She can never sit and look around and be content and think, I live in a huge mansion, I've got millions in the bank, I have a loving husband, I have 2 children. No. None of that matters because her narcissism, like the ravenous beast that it is always thinking, that person needs to be controlled. What was that said? That person's looking at us strangely. That person didn't invite us. How can we get the publicity, get the fuel? She can never settle. She can never truly enjoy the achievements because the narcissism needs more. What do people below the line think? Do they think that it's going to be a case of the Sussexes now becoming quiet? Kaz writes, clearly their management company has advised they are officially overexposed and the phone is not ringing like it was before the coronation. Harry's wife, less is more these days. Lavi H2O responds, she won't listen though. Indeed. New Yorker, nothing left to say, or no one wants to hear their embellishments anymore and they realise how much damage they've caused to themselves and family. Well, it's likely most people don't want to hear their embellishments anymore, but it's not the case that she realises how much damage they've done to themselves and their relationships. The damage to those relationships is the fault of everybody else and not Harry's wife. New Yorker continues with, they had everything and threw it all away. I'm sure their lives weren't perfect and there were family issues to be resolved, but their revenge plan has backfired. The Owl responds, the 2-hour car chase jumped a shark at every intersection. Very apt. Simon writes, this is why the royal family stopped talking to them, so they could not reveal any more conversations they claim to have. If they don't meet with them, no books can be produced. Stepping back from the spotlight, we will just await the inevitable divorce. Ayn Randish, what they meant to say is that now that Harry has alienated himself from his family and country, he's beginning to see the damage he's caused to his own life. That may well be true. He has started to regret how openly he trashed his father, brother, and the rest of the family for a few bucks. Apparently, the Mean New Deal isn't actually sustainable. Jane Whistler responds, but that would imply that these two can be reflecting on their lives. No way. Well, Harry can when he's out of the fog. She can't. As a narcissist, she doesn't reflect. Jane continues, this is a PR branding stunt. What else could they do? Maybe the reaction to the fake car chase opened their agents and PR people. Alert, alert, damage control now. This is a desperate ploy to change the narrative. They think everyone will just forget who they are by making some syrupy, uplifting Netflix garbage now? Of course, people will not. Ralph Stars responds, they will usher in the period of more philanthropy, social justice and concern for the environment. You know, the 30-minute charity photo ops, more worthless awards and word salad. They may even start using the kids now they have the titles and are older. Endless possibilities to make Harry's wife Diana 2.0. Stacey Milburn adds, what this really means is this. No one is willing to pay them big money for their stories anymore. Now they need to get back into the good graces of the royal family to once again live the lifestyles to which they have become accustomed. Good luck. Maybe some hard work. Harry's wife might have to start going on casting calls and readings and answering early morning filming calls to make ends meet. Might just be the thing for them. Anywho replies, but at this point her infamy will outweigh her questionable talent and keep her from landing any work that would offer her the illusion of relevancy. Abnormal offers, they will never be accepted back into the royal family and return to their former status. Indeed, that is the case. That she will never be accepted back into the royal family. This is just another publicity vehicle in order to have people talking by saying, change of direction for us, we're going to shut up. But this is the chameleon nature of Harry's wife. 1 minute she's a philanthropist, then she's an author. Then she's involved in wanting to be a politician. Then she's a fashion icon. She's just flip-flopping as a consequence of her narcissism, and undoubtedly she will have received advice from the relevant PR people that she is overexposed, but she won't accept that. But for the moment, in order to generate more comment about her, she's having it known that there's nothing more to say. It simply will not be the case. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.